Good morning, first graders. I hope that you guys are having an awesome week and that your online learning is going good. So today we're going to be doing another lesson. The last lesson that we did, we learned about interdependence, and we know that that means how plants and animals depend on each other to survive. So today, what we're going to be learning in social studies is natural resources. And this is something brand new. We've not learned it before. But because we already know a little bit about living and non-living things and how animals depend on each other, this will help us a great deal while we're learning something new today. So let's take a look at our learning objective. So our objective today is that we will learn about natural resources so that I can better understand what they are used for. I'll know I've got it when I can describe what a natural resource is and how they are used in my life and community. Okay, so like I said before, we're going to use what we already have learned to help us learn today. So what do we already know about living and non-living things? What living and non-living things do we find in nature? That's right. We have plants, animals, water, soil, rocks, insects. Awesome. So can anybody tell me what the word resource means? And this is a big word, but some of you might know what it means. Awesome. A resource is something that we use for a purpose. So for example, in class when you're writing in your reader's response journals, you use your first grade word list as a resource. Great job answering those questions. So let's take a look at our new vocabulary word today. Our new word in social studies is natural resource. A natural resource is anything people can use that comes from nature. People do not make natural resources, but gather them from the earth. Some examples of natural resources are air, water, trees, plants, animals, soil, sun, and wind. Now we're going to take a closer look at natural resources. What are natural resources? Earth's natural resources. Many materials we use every day come from natural resources. A natural resource is a material from Earth that is useful to people. Wood is a natural resource that comes from trees. Metal used to make pipes, wires, and even our desks comes from ore. Ore is a rock that contains metal. Natural resources give us food, water, shelter, and clothing. They even provide us with TV and cars. Stop and think. Where do natural resources come from? Can you think of something in this room? So maybe it might be wherever you're doing your work or your bedroom. So think of something at your house that is made from a natural resource. So there's lots of things that we can name. Here at my house, the table that I'm using to record my lesson is made out of wood, and wood is a natural resource. Using natural resources. Plants are used to make food, lumber, which is a type of wood that you use to build, paper, makeup, medicine, clothing, and cardboard. Animals are used to make food, clothing, leather, wool, and fertilizer. And fertilizer is what we use in gardens and our yards to help things grow. Rocks, soil, and minerals are used to make concrete, bricks, salt, jewelry, and glass. Oil is used to make plastic, fabric, and fuel. Water is used for bathing, washing, drinking, cooking, and growing food. Metals are used to make tools, buildings, cars, wiring, and jewelry. Using resources. Some things around you are natural and some things come from natural resources but are made by people. Plants, rocks, and soil are natural. Bricks are made by people but come from a natural resource. What did we learn? Everything people use comes from natural resources. Some resources are renewable, which means they can't be replaced. Some resources are non-renewable. They cannot be replaced once they are used. And people must use resources carefully so that they are not wasted. Our PowerPoint told us that people use natural resources to make other things. When people use natural resources, maybe wood to make a table, the table would be man-made. So it's something that we make ourselves. Like our clothes are man-made, they use natural resources to make those, but they have to make it themselves. So that we have a better understanding of how, or the difference between natural resources and man-made resources, I wanted to do a sorting activity. So I have 5 different items down here. We have a tree, a shirt, water, a house, and a cow. So I'm going to sort these so that we can get a better idea of when something is man-made or if it's a natural resource. So let's start with the tree. So because we already know a lot about living and non-living things, we know that trees grow on their own. We may plant seeds to help trees grow, but they grow naturally. So this one will go under natural resource. We have a shirt. So a shirt is you buy your shirts in a store and they're made by someone else. Shirts might use cotton to be made, but they have to be made by a human. So a shirt would go under man-made resources. So we have water. So this kind of goes back to the living and non-living things. We know that water is non-living, but that it's in nature. And we learned about bodies of water in social studies when we were still in school. So we know that water is found in nature. So where do you think water would go? That's right, water is a natural resource. It's found in nature naturally. Nobody has to create it. Okay, our next one is a house. Houses can be made out of wood or bricks, and we know that wood comes from trees. That's a natural resource, but we have to build houses ourselves, right? They don't just pop up and grow on their own. So where would a house go? That's right, a house is man-made. So let's put it over here with man-made. Okay, our last one is a cow. We know that a cow is a living thing, but did we create a cow? No. Cows are live in nature on their own, so we know that a cow, which is an animal, is a natural resource. We didn't create a cow. It is born into nature itself. So here are a couple examples of natural resources and man-made resources. So now that you know what a natural resource is, I want you to go find some. So while we're all at home, we have plenty of stuff that we could be doing on these nice pretty days. So we're going to do a natural resources scavenger hunt. So in your backyard or in your neighborhood, make sure you ask your parents first if it's okay. You're going to go and find natural resources. I have a list of all kinds of natural resources here, like a flower or a bird, sand or dirt, that I want you to find in your yard or neighborhood. So once you have found your natural resources, I want you to make sure that you take lots of pictures of all of the different things that you've found. Try to find all of the things on the list. You can put check marks by them once you find them. If you can't find some of them, that's okay. But make sure that you try really hard to find those natural resources out in maybe your front yard, your backyard, just all around the neighborhood, any place that your parents will let you go looking for them. So again, make sure you take lots of pictures. Have your parents help you upload those into Seesaw so that I can see what you found. And then I'm going to ask you a couple of questions on those posts. So make sure that you upload them and show me everything that you found. I hope you guys enjoyed this lesson and have a good rest of your week.